Have you ever felt completely alone, even when surrounded by others? This isn't just a simple question, it's an invitation to delve into the intricate concept of loneliness. Loneliness, as we'll discover, is a deeply personal and subjective experience. It's not necessarily about being physically alone or isolated. Just as you can feel cold in the middle of a desert under the blistering sun, you can feel lonely in a room full of people, amidst laughter and conversation. This complex feeling can creep up on us in the most unexpected moments. Perhaps you felt it at a bustling party where everyone seems to be having the time of their lives, except you. Or maybe you felt it in the quiet stillness of your own home, where the silence seems to echo with a strange emptiness. But let's not confuse loneliness with solitude. Solitude is the state of being alone, without any company. It's a physical fact, not an emotional condition. And it's not always a negative state of being. But what causes this profound feeling of isolation? Diving into the causes of loneliness, we find a complex web of factors that can contribute to this state of mind. These factors can be broadly categorized into social, psychological, and environmental elements. Let's start with social factors. The advent of social media has paradoxically created a sense of isolation for many. While it's supposed to connect us, the constant stream of curated lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy and alienation. The lack of genuine, close relationships is another significant social factor. Humans are social beings, and we thrive on meaningful connections. When these connections are lacking, it can lead to a deep sense of isolation. Moving on to psychological factors, one's mindset and personal perception play a significant role in feeling lonely. Some people might feel lonely even when surrounded by others because they struggle to form deep connections due to trust issues or past traumas. On the other hand, some might feel lonely because they perceive themselves as different or misunderstood, leading to a sense of emotional disconnection. Environmental factors are also worth considering. Significant life changes such as moving to a new place, starting a new job, or going through a breakup can be disorienting and lead to feelings of loneliness. The lack of familiar faces and routines can make one feel lost and isolated. It's important to remember that these factors are often intertwined. For instance, a person might feel lonely due to a combination of social media use, a lack of close relationships, and a recent move to a new city. At the same time, their personal mindset might exacerbate these feelings of loneliness. The causes of loneliness are complex and often intertwined, making it a unique and personal experience. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Everyone's experience with loneliness is different, influenced by a unique blend of social, psychological, and environmental factors. It's this complexity that makes understanding and addressing loneliness such a challenging task. The causes of loneliness are complex and often intertwined, making it a unique and personal experience. Loneliness is not just a feeling, it can have profound effects on our well-being. This isn't a mere statement, but a stark reality backed by numerous studies. Let's delve into the often overlooked consequences of loneliness that impact both our psychological and physical health. At the psychological level, loneliness can be a catalyst for various mental health issues. Imagine a cloud of loneliness casting a shadow over your mind. This shadow can breed feelings of worthlessness, leading to depression. It can also fuel a vicious cycle of anxiety, where the fear of being alone pushes us further into isolation. In essence, loneliness can trap us in a whirlpool of negative emotions, making it harder to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the effects of loneliness aren't confined to our mental state. They seep into our physical health, often in ways we might not immediately recognize. Loneliness can send our bodies into a state of constant high alert, leading to higher blood pressure and an increased risk of heart disease. It's as if our bodies are perpetually bracing for the emotional impact of being alone, causing wear and tear that can have serious implications for our heart health. Moreover, loneliness can weaken our immune system, making us more susceptible to infections and diseases. It's as if our body's defenses lower their shields when we're lonely, leaving us more vulnerable to health threats. Perhaps the most alarming revelation is that chronic loneliness can shorten life expectancy. In fact, some studies suggest that the health risks associated with prolonged loneliness are comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Clearly, loneliness is not just an unpleasant feeling, but a serious health concern. It's a silent epidemic, silently chipping away at our well-being. But remember, understanding these effects is the first step towards combating loneliness and reclaiming our health. So, how can we fight this invisible enemy? The first step towards overcoming loneliness is acknowledging its presence. It is a common human experience, not a personal failing. It's important to realize that loneliness isn't a permanent state, but a temporary feeling that can be addressed and managed. One of the most effective ways to combat loneliness is by fostering social connections. It could be as simple as having a chat with a neighbor, calling an old friend, or joining a community group that shares your interests. These interactions, even if they seem small, can significantly impact your perception of loneliness. On a related note, picking up a new hobby or reconnecting with an old one can provide a sense of purpose and joy. Whether it's painting, gardening, reading, or hiking, a hobby can keep your mind engaged and offer a distraction from feelings of loneliness. Additionally, physical activity has been proven to have a positive effect on mental health. Regular exercise releases endorphins, which are known as feel-good hormones. This doesn't mean you need to run a marathon. Simply going for a walk, doing yoga, or dancing to your favorite music can be beneficial. Cultivating a positive mindset is also crucial in overcoming loneliness. It's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thoughts, but remember, your thoughts are not facts. Try to challenge these thoughts and replace them with positivity. Gratitude exercises, mindfulness, and meditation can be helpful tools in this. Lastly, if feelings of loneliness become overwhelming and persistent, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists, counselors, and psychiatrists are trained to help you navigate through these feelings. There are also hotlines and online resources available if you need immediate assistance. Overcoming loneliness is a journey that requires patience, kindness towards oneself, and sometimes professional help. But remember, it's okay to ask for help. You're not alone in feeling alone. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned about loneliness. We began our journey by considering loneliness as an intricate, subjective experience, not merely the absence of company, but a deep, internal feeling of disconnection from others and the world around us. It's a complex emotion that can be as unique as the individuals who experience it. We then explored the diverse causes of loneliness, underscoring that it's not just about physical solitude. It can be triggered by a myriad of circumstances, from significant life changes like moving to a new city or losing a loved one, to feeling misunderstood or different from those around us. We learned that even in a crowd, one can feel profoundly alone, emphasizing that loneliness is more about quality than quantity of social interactions. Moving on, we delved into the serious effects of loneliness on our mental and physical health. It's not just a fleeting state of mind, but a persistent feeling that can lead to anxiety, depression, and even physical ailments like heart disease. We highlighted that it's a silent epidemic, often overlooked but with significant impact on our overall well-being. But we didn't stop there. We also ventured into the realm of solutions, exploring ways to overcome loneliness. We discussed the importance of self-awareness, of acknowledging and understanding our feelings. We emphasized the value of connecting with others, not merely on a superficial level, but forming deep and meaningful relationships. We talked about seeking help when needed, whether from friends, family, or professionals, and we reminded ourselves that engaging in activities we love, spending time in nature, or even adopting a pet can help alleviate feelings of loneliness. Remember, loneliness is a universal human experience, but it doesn't have to define your life. Reach out, connect, and remember that you're not alone. Loneliness, like any other emotion, is temporary and can be overcome. It's a journey of self-discovery and resilience, a testament to our inherent capacity to connect, heal, and thrive. So let's take this understanding of loneliness and use it as a tool for empathy, connection, and personal growth.